On the first album, you worked together with John Pryor and Adrian Sherwood, and then you went in a kind of more metal direction on the new album as well, but the new album is kind of rather diverse, which is very good. So, Blood and Alan Moore are not that metal music people, so it's Trent Reznor that kind of full metal head.
I mean, with Broken, I wanted to, I was really frustrated. We were at the pinnacle of the battle between record labels, and I was at a point where I was freaked out because of success, for one, because we'd gotten bigger than I felt comfortable being at the time. And I was also faced with the prospect of it all being over because I couldn't make music anymore because of this fucking record label that I was on. And I was having some personal crises at the same time, so it all got focused into that little EP of hate. And I wanted to make something that was aggressive, more aggressive than what I'd done in the past. I'd also discovered what guitar sounded like and real drums and things like that because I'd never really had access to them. I mean, to me, drum was a button on a machine. But after touring for a couple of years with real drummers, I understood, wow, it doesn't sound like that button, and I wanted to incorporate some of those sounds. And I'd gotten better at playing guitar just from doing it. And I think I also wanted to completely commercially destroy Nine Inch Nails. So I made that record and I wanted it to sound the way it did. And then, you know, of course, we won a Grammy for it. So from that, though, I also saw where I was boxing myself into a corner that I see other bands do, and I'm not concerned about being the hardest, meanest, snarliest band in the world. And so with Downward Spiral, I started working on computers again more than guitar, and I wrote everything on a computer. And I wanted to make something that went in 10 different directions, but was unified somehow. That was my challenge to myself musically. And I wanted to explore textures and tension through restraint rather than loud aggressiveness through the whole thing. So that when it did kick in, it was more painful than 40 songs about, you know, loud guitars.
Did you use samples, synths and electronic sounds, or at times use real musicians?
A lot of the stuff on that record that sounds real isn't real, and vice versa. The stuff that sounds fake actually came from real performances that were just processed to the point where it kept the idiosyncrasies of a live performance, but it lost the normal soundingness of it. And I tried to make electronic sound organic, and tried to, instead of making a... It's easy to make a sampler or a synthesizer sound cold and detached, but it's a lot more difficult to try to make it sound real. Not necessarily like a real instrument, but relating to real sounds. A lot of the stuff we use for melodies and things were samples of real organic things like swarms of bees and sounds that you might not hear as that, but hopefully trigger some kind of, you know, a lot of thought went into that kind of shit. But and no one will ever notice. Something to spend a lot of time doing.